Welcome to yoga today. I'm going to take a seat here, and what you're going to need for your practice today is maybe 1 or 2 blocks for any modifications for your hands for supporting a pose, blanket to pad your knees, and I also have a tennis ball that I'm going to use, but I can't get it out right now because Sam over here will go crazy and want to have the ball. So we're going to see what happens as I'm working with the ball in the middle of the practice. So welcome everybody. Let's find a place where we can sit comfortably. We can sit cross-legged on the floor, or we could roll a blanket up and sit with our hips slightly raised there. I'm sitting on top of a block with a blanket wrapped over it and on my knees. So whatever place is comfortable for you, I want you to be able to feel your sit bones. So I'm going to pull the flesh away a little bit, pull the sides of my legs up on each side so that I sit more completely on my sit bones, on the root of my body here. And we are going to be working with some pranayama and a lot of energy moving practice today. So cleansing energy and bringing more energy in and dissipating energy as well. We're going to be doing that through different types of kriyas that we're going to work with today. So I want to remind you that we're listening to our body. We're staying in the present moment with our breath, with a nice easy breath at all times. We're going to make sure that our breath is aligning with the movement of our body so that becomes a little bit more rhythmic as we move. And that's going to allow us to keep rooted in the present moment. Okay, so a lot of nice grounding practice today as well. We're letting go of judgment and expectations. We're letting go of any competition and creating this practice for ourselves, really connecting inwardly so that we can discern what it is that we need. What is it that our body is doing today to respond to whatever movement I'm suggesting for you. And as always, you can modify anything that you want to, anything that you feel you need to. There may be poses or movements in here that are a little too aggressive perhaps for you, or maybe not enough for you, and you can always modify things so that you create the practice that your body needs. Okay? And that means slowing things down or choosing a lesser expansion or contraction in a pose so that your body feels balanced and out of pain. So you should never feel any kind of pain or pinching in a practice. So I'd like to just say one more thing. My teacher, Britt Steele, always says this, which I think is a great way to think about a practice every time you come to any yoga practice at all. And that is that you can do or you can not do, or you can do differently. So in other words, you can do the poses, the practice as I present it. You can choose to not do those things at a particular time. And you can also choose to do it differently. So there you go. I hope you keep that in mind. To begin with, let's start in a nice comfortable seat. Like I said in the beginning, I'm pulling the flesh away, finding my sit bones pressed into the floor. And whether you're sitting cross-legged or on your knees here, or maybe on a blanket with your hips raised, that's all fine. And we're going to begin by moving into Mula Kriya. Mula Kriya is one that we've done before in practice, and it's kind of like a Sufi roll. So we hinge forward on an exhale. We inhale and lift up. We exhale, hinge forward, rolling the spine. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, hinging. Inhale, lifting. And noticing how the hips feel here, grounding into our root, our sit bones. We should feel the rolling around of the sit bones as we move in this pose, in this Kriya. Moving with our breath. Just noticing how this feels for you today. And then let's reverse this direction. Massaging the root, that root chakra. Just enjoying how this is feeling and noticing how your body is. Maybe it's been a while since you've had your practice. And we're going to come back to a sitting tall posture and pause here. Maybe close your eyes. Notice if there's any change and how your body feels. From here, we're going to move into what we call the evolve Kriya. Sitting tall, we're going to bring our hands wide, shoulder blades down and back, reaching arms out, palms up. And as we come forward, we draw the belly in, we reach forward, tip our head forward on the exhale. Inhale wide, exhale forward. Inhale, exhale. We evolve. We involve. We're really kind of opening the front of the heart, and then we're opening the back of the heart. The front of the heart, the back of the heart. And then let's change this up a little bit. We're going to bring our hands around and hug. Involve. Turning inward. Reaching out, expanding again. In, exhale. Evolve. And this time our arms go the other one on top, and we squeeze in. Involve. Opening and closing. Opening and closing. Now this Kriya can be done faster if you would like. Working more with the breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Or you can slow it down and hold any part of this Kriya that would feel good for you. And then we release the arms down and we can pause here. Take nice deep breaths in, long, slow exhales. Can you feel any energy bubbling up, any movement or warmth happening in the upper body? Let's circle sweep the arms up. We're going to hold on to our left hand here and reach up and over into a side stretch. And let's gaze upward and rotate the heart up. And we come back to center, relax the arms down for a moment. Yes, good. And we'll circle up again, and this time we're grabbing the right wrist and we're reaching up and over through the side body, the rib cage expanding, the muscles along the rib cage stretching a bit, allowing us to have more access to our breath. A really important thing for these days here with the COVID-19, which affects our respiratory system. We want to be able to breathe well, breathe easily. Relax the arms down. Nice deep breaths in and long, slow exhales. Good, it feels good. Moving into a side twist, we're just simply going to rotate to the right, bringing the right hand behind us, reaching the left arm across the leg. Let's find our shoulders drop down and away from our ears, moving back. We keep the body straight up and down, perpendicular to the floor. Our chin is parallel to the floor. So we're not leaning over and turning. We're keeping a nice long spine and we're turning here. We're breathing as well, of course. Always find that easeful breath in each of your poses. Right, Sammy? And let's inhale and lift up. And exhale, and we'll do the other side. Spiraling around a perpendicular rod of the body here. Shoulders are down away from the ears, and we're pressing the shoulders back, making room for our heart to shine forward. Nice big breaths. Notice if you feel any areas that might be stuck perhaps with your breath. See if you can breathe into those areas. Imagine the breath expanding in there like blowing up a balloon. And we'll come back to center, rolling through the shoulders, letting go of any tension. And the other direction. And let's lift the shoulders up. Let's squeeze the fists and squeeze the face, and we're scrunching everything up. And then we're going to let it all go, all at once. Inhale, scrunch up, squeeze, 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 and let it go. Yeah, good, 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 good. Let's begin to drop the chin down to the chest. Just allowing the back of the neck to relax. Breathing in and letting go of whatever does not serve us today. Let it melt away. And as we stay with the breath, as we bring the mind to the breath, it brings our body back to our body and our mind back to this present moment. Our mind is good at exploring the future and reviewing the past a lot of the time. Let's bring it right here into this present moment with our breath and with the awareness of the body and how it's feeling at the moment. What parts are touching the floor? What parts are relaxing? What parts are engaging? Let's inhale and lift the chin up. Exhale, lower the chin. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And let's bring the chin back to center. We're going to turn the head over to the right, just looking over the right shoulder, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. And we're inhale through the center and exhale to the left side. And then breathe here, inhaling, exhaling. Notice if there's any tension anywhere else in the body that you can relax from. Sometimes as we make a movement, maybe in our neck, we might notice our shoulder tensing up, or maybe a leg might tense up to hold us in some position. See if you can relax the parts that are not needed in order to stay in this place. And we'll come back to center. Let's tilt the chin down again, and we're going to swing the chin over to the right shoulder and down. And then let's look up over the right shoulder and exhale down. And inhale up. And exhale down. And again. And this time when we come down, we're swinging through the center of the chest over to the left shoulder, tilting the chin down towards that left shoulder and relaxing both shoulders away from our ears. We can inhale and look up over the left shoulder and exhale back down. And inhale up and exhale down. And inhale up and exhale down. And let's bring the chin back to the center of the chest. And head comes back centered between the shoulders. You can roll the shoulders, shake out the shoulders, shake out the wrists, shake the shoulders and the arms. Let's bring the wrists up and down briskly and side to side briskly over our head. Out to the side, down low. Good, stretch the fingers wide and make a fist, and wide, and make a fist, and wide, and make a fist. Good, and now we're going to come onto our hands and knees. You may want to have a blanket for your knees here. I'm going to move my block out of the way. And as we come onto all fours, we bring our knees hip distance wide, our hands shoulder width. And we're going to move into another Kriya here with aligning our breath with our movement. So from here, we bring our right knee in and we tuck our head down towards the knee. We're engaging the core muscles here. And then we inhale and press the heel and the sole of the foot to the ceiling. We look up and we exhale, squeeze, and inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Staying on the same side for right now. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lift. Our heart shines forward as our leg lifts. The back of our heart reaches for the sky as our leg comes in. This is called Tiger Stretch Kriya. And we'll replace that leg down on the blanket. If you need to rotate your wrists to take care of your wrists, do that in between sides. And then we come back to all fours, draw the left knee in and lift, looking up. This can be done slowly, or it can be done more quickly, more vigorously. Movement and breath coming together. Shining the heart forward and arching the back, opening the back of the heart. And we replace that knee as well. Sitting back into child pose or balasana here. Just take some moments here to notice how this feels. In balasana, you can support your head with your stacked hands if you'd like, or even using a block. Let's reach the hands out in front of us into extended child pose. And we're going to walk the hands off of the mat out to the side, staying where we are on our blanket or on the mat. And we feel a big stretch here. If our hands are moving to the right, we're feeling this stretch in our left rib cage, the whole left side. Arms are straight, reaching out. And we can walk the hands back through the center of the mat and over to the other side. This time stretching through the right side of the rib cage. Sitting back towards the heels if that's available to us. And we're going to come back to our child pose with extended arms. And this time, leaning forward and coming forward over the hands, shoulders over our wrists. We draw the belly in, kneeling plank, exhaling, child pose. Inhaling, kneeling plank, exhaling, child pose. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, child pose. This time as we come forward, let's exhale and do a little mini push-up here. And back to child pose. Inhale to kneeling plank, exhale, bend, and inhale, straighten. Exhale, child pose. We're going to do 2 more of these. And down. And last one. And back. This time we're coming forward into kneeling plank, and we're exhaling down all the way to the floor gently. Inhale into cobra or baby cobra. Our shoulder blades are pressing down away from our ears, and they're hugging towards each other. From here, we press back into child pose. Inhale forward into kneeling plank. Exhale down. Inhale to baby cobra. Press back to child pose. If you want, you can move this mat if that's in your way. And we're in child pose here. We're going to curl our toes under here now. Wide fingers on the mat, stretching forward. We're going to lift now the knees off of the mat into downward facing dog. And let's pedal the feet. And from here, we're going to move again into plank, full plank now. And exhale to down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to down dog. Holding here in down dog, pedaling feet, stretching through the backs of the legs. And we're going to release our right knee down. I'm going to grab the blanket again because I feel like you might want to have a blanket under your knee here. And step the left leg forward here. You can bring 2 blocks now. If you have blocks, you don't have to have them, but if you do have them, you can use them here in this Anjanaya Kriya. So we align the knee right over the ankle here, if you can see that. Knee over ankle. My back leg is down and it's stretched back. My thigh is stretched back. And I'm going to press back and come forward. And press back and come forward. Making sure that when I come forward from this stretch, my knee does not go over the top of my foot. And my front foot could come up into a runner's stretch as I lean forward over that left leg. And this is really wonderful for creating some movement and openness in the hips. And then let's sit back, bring this knee back, and step forward with our right foot, finding a lunge with the right side. The back leg is down, and I have a nice stretch here on my left thigh now. And I press back and forward. And you can do this just a little bit if you want to, or you can do a lot more movement. Find the place that feels good for you today. Anjani Kriya. So this is the modified version, and if you're working on balance, this is a good one to be doing with your knee down. We're going to also do it with our knee up, or with our knee up, so that you can see what that looks like. So let's bring our foot back here. I'm going to move my blanket off now. And I'll start with my left leg forward. And I'm going to stand up here, bringing the heel of my back foot off of the mat into a long lunge. And then I can stretch back and forward, and back and forward. Noticing that this forward knee does not come over the front of the foot. Exhale back, inhale heart forward. And feel the movement in the hips, the stretch in the front of the leg. And on the other side, we step forward and we step back with the other leg. Find our lunge. I'll bring my blocks back so you can see my knee a little better here. And I then lean forward and I press and forward and back. Getting some flexibility in the hip joint. Stretch through the legs, backs of the legs. And then we're going to come back down, lower the knee down. If you want to pad this back knee, you may. This is Anjani Kriya 2. We reach up, this time with the arm lifting and exhaling, and lifting and exhaling. Moving with the breath. You can bring your hand to your other leg if you'd like, or you could have a block here if you would like. Whatever would help make you feel more stable, more balanced. Whatever your body needs today. And one more here. Let's hold this and breathe. Smile. And we can release down, bringing this knee back and stepping forward with the other foot into a lunge. Lifting and exhaling. Again, you could have a block here if you prefer for your hand. That might bring more stability for you. Or you can place your hand on your leg, on your thigh here. Reaching up, but grounding through the left foot and the right knee. Feeling the stretch through the front of the right hip. Moving with your breath, nice full breath in and a full long exhale. And one more, we're going to hold here. Breathing, noticing. And release, hands down. Let's come into our child pose once again. Maybe with wide knees this time, our feet touching behind us, and knees wide open on the mat. We can come down, put our head on the mat. Feel the length happening in your spine. And from here, we're going to curl our toes under. Downward facing dog. Step forward with your right foot into a lunge. Let's grab a block if we need it, just to have it handy in case you need it. So in this lunge, we're going to come up onto the ball of the back foot, and we're bringing our hands up here. So this Kriya is called Anjaneya Kriya 3. It's opening the heart, and then we're curling over, arching the back. Inhaling, exhaling, drawing the belly in. Inhaling, exhaling. Moving and breathing. And we step forward. Let's move into forward fold from here and just notice letting our head drop down. You can shake the head no and yes. Just notice how you feel here. Notice the backs of the legs. Maybe you would like to massage the backs of your legs. My legs are a little bit tight, so it feels good to massage these legs. And then we're going to move back with the right foot back. Heel up. Find the lunge here. Reach heart opening. And we arch forward. And we inhale and exhale. And let's hold it open here. This is a really good one to practice opening because we have a tendency to roll shoulders forward and to lean forward in our daily activities. So opening and doing the opposite here really helps to increase our lung capacity, our breath, our heart, strong heart. Good. And I invite you to step forward into Uttanasana. Oh, let's stand forward first, lifting tall. Standing mountain. Exhaling now into forward fold. Uttanasana. Dropping the head down. Melting. As if there's a waterfall that's just coming over your shoulders and down your head. Letting go. Notice the energy moving through the body with these Kriyas that we've done through our breathing. And then I invite you to come down onto your sit bones with your feet out for a moment. And just sit tall here. We're going to do another Kriya, another row your boat Kriya. So from here, our hands come behind us to hold us up, with our fingers pointing towards our toes. Bending the knees here. We start just here, just to feel this opening. This is beginning of boat pose. Then we bring the hands forward here. And rowing the boat, we bring the arms over to the side and forward, and the side and forward, side and forward, side and forward. Really good oblique muscle work, those side muscles. So we're squeezing as we come back, lifting, squeezing as we come back, lifting. You should be warmed up a lot by now. Been moving lots of energy, creating energy in our body just from the pranayama work, the breath work that we've done. One more on each side. And we can release our hands down. Then I'd like for you to bring your hands behind you again with fingers pointing forward. We're going to have our knees bent here. And let's have the feet a little bit wide rather than close together. Let's have the feet wide. And in this Kriya, this is rocking the boat Kriya. So we're going to have a really nice massage on the hips and the outside edges of the hips. So from here we lower the knees to one side, just a little bit at first. Come back to inhale and exhale to the other side. And inhale and exhale. Just notice where you feel this. Notice any parts that are a little tight or a little restricted of moving. For me, I notice it on my right, outside of my right leg. After my hip replacement, it hasn't quite come back all the way, so I'm working on that a little bit at a time, creating a little more flexibility and strength in that right leg. And then you can begin to let them go down farther if you want. Feeling that stretch all the way, maybe down to the floor, whatever's available to your movement. We're inhaling to center, we're exhaling to the side. Inhaling to center, exhaling to side. Notice the massage you're creating through the root. Good. Good. And from here, let's straighten the legs. We can shake them out a little bit. Yes. And I invite you now to come all the way down onto your back. And just begin to let the spine, the muscles all along the spine begin to soften with gravity. Maybe giving up resistance a little bit at a time. Breathing in and breathing out. And here we can now bend our knees and maybe draw the knees in towards the chest, our hands on our kneecaps, and just push them away to straighten the arms. And then bend the elbows, hugging in. Straighten the arms. Breathing with the movement. Exhaling, squeezing in. And inhaling, reaching out. Feel the small of the back pressing into the floor, feeling grounded here, feeling part of the earth. Your shoulders are broad. Eyes can be closed. Maybe you would like to open the knees wide here, circle back around together, and then open them wide and circle them around and bring them back together. Nice big circles. And then going the other direction with those circles. And we're going to bring our feet wide on the mat so that we feel the edge of the mat and the floor underneath both legs. Our arms can come out a little bit to the side at an angle, whatever's comfortable here. And then I want you to lower the knees down wherever they go. These are wide legs. The knees are just going to lower down wherever they go, letting the legs slide if they happen to slide. That's okay. And if you'd like, you can turn your head the opposite direction of the knees. Melting any resistance. Inhaling back to center And then again, making sure the feet are wide and lowering the knees to the other side, turning the head the opposite direction. And just enjoying this feeling of relaxation. Coming back to our center, we can relax the legs down and move to our final savasana time now. If you're chilly, place a blanket over you. You could put socks on if you need to. Maybe you'd like to support under your legs with a blanket, rolled up blanket. Whatever would make you feel very comfortable. Where you can forget about your body, basically. You can relax and release any of the tension that might have been experienced through the last few days. Close your eyes. Become aware of the bottoms of your feet and your ankles. Moving up through the calf muscles and the knee caps, the backs of the knees, through the thighs and the hips, feeling the hips heavy and released of tension. Noticing the belly soft. Maybe you'll notice if your lower back is pressing onto the floor, if there's a little space there. Moving up your spine, we feel the shoulders relaxed in the floor. The neck is long and relaxed. The jaw is loose. The tongue rests in the bottom of the mouth. We might want to take a swallow. And soften the face. Allow the eyes to roll back. And just be the witness right now, the one that is witnessing the body and the breath. We begin to feel our fingers and our toes again. Creating a little movement in the body, getting ready to come back to a comfortable seated place where we can close our class. Rolling onto your side and sitting up. Bringing our hands to our heart. I thank you so much for being here with me today and with Sam. And he was very good today. He didn't get to worry about the ball because I didn't use it, so I'm going to let him have it now because he was such a good boy. So, namaste to everybody. And have a glorious day. Thank you for being here. And another little hint which I noticed today, which was so much fun. Before I did my practice this morning, I walked outside, and it's sunny here in Seattle, and it's warm for a change. So I was walking barefoot in the grass, and the grass is soft and cushy and cool to the feet, and it feels wonderful to ground into that Mother Earth energy with bare feet. So try walking around outside if you are in a place where it's warm enough that you can walk outside and feel the ground under your feet and begin to connect in that way. So thank you. Namaste again.